Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining today's webinar, State of the Union for API Testing with Joe Colantonio and Dave Caro. Before we begin, and I know some people are still arriving, I just have a few quick announcements and before I pass it over to our wonderful presenters. So today's webinar is being recorded and everyone will be sent the full recording by email over the next few days. And at the end of the webinar, we'll have a Q&A session. You should see in your GoToWebinar panel a tab for questions. And there you can just write a question throughout the time. And we're going to try to get to as many questions as possible. Please keep them on topic. And time permitting, we'll get to as many. And whatever we don't get to, we'll try and reach out to you by email over the next few days as well. And one last thing, at the end of today's webinar, you'll see a very short survey pop up. Please just take 30 seconds to answer it. It allows us to get some feedback of today's webinar and also give us ideas and topics for upcoming webinars. And it's a great opportunity to make our webinars even better for you in the future. So today, just to introduce again, Joe Colantonio, test automation expert, and Dave Caro, Blazemeter tech evangelist. I'm going to let them take it away now. So thank you very much for joining us, both of you today, and take it away, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you, Emma, and thank you, Blazemeter, for inviting me to speak today. I'm really excited about this topic, the State of the Union for API testing. I really believe it's an area that's been neglected, and for some reason, it's just not taken off the way I thought it would. But I think with our the way we create software nowadays and the way people are moving to continuous testing, it's becoming more and more critical. And hopefully you'll know that after this presentation why I think it's so important. So for the people that don't know me, I'm Joe from joecolantonio.com, Test Talks and Guild Conferences, a blog, podcast, and online conference platform dedicated to helping you succeed with test automation. And then we have the awesome Dave here. Dave, not sure if you want to speak to your slide.
Sure, yeah. Hi, Dave Caro. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dave Caro. I've been with Blazemeter now for about 3 years. And before that, I worked at a number of web performance and optimization companies. And my background has been mostly with synthetic monitoring and load testing. But my career has kind of been a shift to the left. So looking forward to sharing what people are doing in terms of shift left and API testing throughout the lifecycle.
Awesome, thanks, Dave. And just so folks know, people that know me know I'm into actionable automation. And so I'm just going to set the stage these first few slides, but that Dave actually is going to have a real hands-on demo of actually using a tool I think is really going to help you with your API effort. So definitely hang on and you'll see some really good meat coming up. But I just want to set the stage for how did we get here? Where do we stand right now and why is API testing even more important than ever? There are three main things I can think of that set the stage for why I think API really is the perfect solution for some of your testing activities as we shift left and right. First one is Agile. I know it's been around for 17 years, but I know I work for a very large organization and they only really started implementing Agile maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that's actually kind of common with larger companies. So a lot of people on this call, probably all you've ever done is worked in an Agile environment. So for the folks that are in that situation, I just want to let you know that before Agile, there really were a lot of silos. Our developers worked in a different department. I used to work in a QA department in a totally different floor from our developers. We used to get requirements from a totally different area. And we used to create software, the developers for years. QA would sit around, get ready for test it. We'd start testing, and then we release to the customer. And of course, it never was what the customer wanted. And so we end up going back and forth, trying to develop what people wanted, and it just didn't work out. So what Agile did, it actually broke down those barriers, and really it is now, well, it should be in theory, the whole team working together to create quality software. And so another thing that came on the scene fairly recently is DevOps, which is pretty much a practice of Agile. And this really broke down even more silos where operations was now included in the team. And it really helped us to not only develop our software, but also try to get into the hands of our customers as soon as possible. And that really is critical. it's the feedback. You really want to get that fast feedback from your customers to make sure you're even developing the right thing rather than baking in everything, spending a lot of time, and then releasing it. And I'll show some slides later on that are actually some stunning statistics of why that's important.